Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Conan, the penultimate episode, second from last. Next week is the finale, and so things happen this week. Before we go around, I will get the bot to spam you all with links. Please take a moment to take them in. There's all of our social links there, all of the places you can go and support us, all of our sponsor information, and all the places you can get 10 to 15% discount using our special codes. Please do check them out. Big thank you to Mage Hand Press and Bird in the Storm Publishing who make the stream possible. Let's go around and say hello to everyone. Why don't we start with Torn Pixie? Oh, hi, Pixie.
Hello, my name's Torn Pixie, and I play Mimir.
Mimir the Sorcerer, we found out.
Yeah. And Jarl, and whatever else we find out about them.
Really badass axe. Really badass. Yeah.
Yes.
Next around, we have Dark Aardvark. Oh, hi, Natalie.
Hello, I am Natalie, and I play Tilyang, the reluctantly kind of murdery person.
The reluctantly murdery person.
That's why you should play. You're gonna say it before you say it, otherwise you might go down that.
Fantastic. No, brilliant. I love it. We know exactly who she is just from that. Last around, we have Sheepdog. Oh, hi, Sheepy. How you doing?
Hello, I'm Sheepdog, and I play Hordir. And he has still never murdered anyone in game yet.
That's true, actually.
No.
In fact, even the raiders last week, you just sort of run them off, right? You didn't.
The guards who attacked.
Yeah, I suppose
me.
technically you were raiders.
I fended off 3 of them, and they didn't hit me even
So
once.
easily as well. It was a nightmare. Welcome, Madam Gandalf and the Green Tavern as they raid in. We shall not pass. Thank God we don't have any exams that we're nervous about, or maybe they mean the penultimate episode. We'll find out. Well, go on.
I was just going to say, I feel it's kind of, it's kind of a challenge to jump into the academy and shout, "You will not pass."
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah, it takes different gravitas. Don't even study. Don't bother. Okay, well, here we are. We're gonna enter the story again about a week later on the way to, as we are approaching Zamora. So in that time, are there any scenes that you three would like to have with the NPCs or between yourselves, before we get there?
I feel like I should put on clothes.
That might be good. Yep, you and Yorick could come back and put on clothes.
Yeah.
That I would have taken that as a granted, but thank you for specifying.
I like to be thorough.
I've heard that about you.
Tilly would like to find a proper melee weapon, like a sword, from the soldiers here, and ask either Mimir or one of the kids kind of to give her some pointers on swinging a sword.
Okay, so we can have some training. Do you go to Mimir or Hodir?
Well, just because it's a bladed weapon, I'd go to Mimir.
Okay.
It's not because you don't want to be trained by Hordir.
No, I mean...
You've seen him training people, so...
That's from the training that she had in the mines. I imagine she would probably have preferred that. Confused and a little bruised instead of worked ragged and all that. So.
Mimir would have no issue with training Tilly. I mean, kind of remember she's the one that pushed Tilly towards taking that shot, so anything to build up confidence.
Yes. Excellent.
Okay, so maybe we spend evening times when you're not training the kids or moving towards Zamora, helping out Tilyang. The princess, of course, in this time is trying to push for even more speed than before, after the complications, and having to wait a few days as well. But it has been a full week. You haven't seen another caravan coming this way. Philip has been helpful. Although the closer we get to Zamora, the more he urges you that you must make a decision.
I thought a decision had already been made. Did we not tell Philip the decision?
Indentured servant was the.
Mm-hmm.
He is compliant, but insists that when they get to Zamora, his tenure will end.
Oh, whether we like it or not. Okay, I get it.
And he's quite reasonable. We can play this out. He'll be. I'm very sorry, Jarl Mimir, but I am loyal to my god, and the closer we get to Zamora, the more you must see the truth that I will betray you in a second. And if that means you need to behead me or whatever, best to get it over with, in my mind.
No, I believe in giving every man their fair chance. You have been honest. Honestly, if anything, I would prefer that you went and found your family before anything. I would not have to kill you if that were the case.
If
You're a good person.
wish to believe that I would seek out my family, then that is what I will let you believe.
Well, by your own words, that is not. It's unfortunate.
Of course it is. As soon as I get out of here, I have to warn my god that you plan to invade his palace and do whatever you want with him. I'm sorry, I have no mind for deception. I can't even lie about lying.
Understandable. Well, for now, might as well let you enjoy the friendship you have for now. We will handle it when time comes.
Indeed. He has been teaching your people first aid, though. He doesn't see harm in teaching them first aid. It's probably true, actually. Most battles, if anyone's left alive, they don't last very long anyway. So first aid is, not the most prized skill, I guess. But he happily teaches. Yeah, the princess is totally restless the whole time. Barely sleeps. Apart from when she rises. It takes about 2 days for her to rise. And then once she has risen, it's like that's all the sleeping she needed.
At least in her mind.
Mimir, do you think we could travel through the night tonight? It's just
to remember, some of the children are quite young. It would be a little too hard on the younger ones.
Oh, perhaps we could make them litters or something. It looks very clear. There's no wind, there's no sandstorm or anything like that. I could drag one.
Respectfully, Sarah, before I started training you, you would have been able to have lifted one of these children for an hour straight. I do not think you have gained so much strength that you could carry one through the night. That is endurance. We have not really worked a whole lot on endurance. That takes more time than we had.
Also, there's no point in running to a battle if you cannot fight when you get there.
I know. I'm just concerned for my other sister.
I understand.
"4 days in, there is a much smaller caravan coming the other way. A one caravan merchant. They're pleased to see you. They see you have weapons and offer you services. They sell weapons. They offer to sharpen your swords or look at your arrows and check the fletchings, and all other sorts of small services. There's one trader and one hired mercenary.
I'm not sure how quick I am to trust this time. It's just too bad you don't know anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What can you do with this? Is my staff.
Well, good sir, I could perhaps attach a blade to one of the ends. fashioned it into a spear or halberd for you. It's a good length of pole. It would make a strong weapon.
It is a strong weapon.
Yes. Yes. We could also make it a more lethal weapon.
But if you make it a spear, it is not a staff anymore.
No, that is true.
So you cannot improve my weapon, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, I could have a look. I could maybe varnish it for you. Should make it last a little while longer.
Okay, yes, sure.
The sun's corrosion. I see the wood is already discoloring.
I hadn't noticed.
No, of course not. And he'll gladly varnish your staff for you. He asks a pittance for these services. In fact, he actually asks for water more than anything else.
We have water, right? We took it from the...
Oh, yeah.
We also have a lot of wine, I think.
Yep, you've got tons of both.
I've probably been keeping my guard on the wine just because there's a couple of people who I think would probably try and sneak some.
We'll get to that shortly.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I could take wine if you're offering wine instead of water. Provisions are hard to come by in Zamora since the uprising.
There's been an uprising?
Yes, and the Emperor dethroned. Is this not news across all of the continent? I thought this happened weeks ago.
I sometimes don't pay attention to news.
The Aquilonian Emperor, he like pulls you on one side. He's like, my mercenary, he's Aquilonian. We should speak in hushed voices. They do not like to make a big thing about emperors changing over. But it would seem the only way to stop becoming emperor is to relinquish the holy seat to the next emperor. And that was done with some haste, shall we say, during the uprising. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, the emperor was slain. But the priests covered it up and said that he passed on the thing and took his own life.
If the priest covers it up, how is it that you know this?
People saw him. It was in public.
So they didn't cover it up?
Well, they chopped out the tongues of anyone who spoke, but I'm clever. I wait till I'm out of the city.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to do with this information.
Well, I would like water. Wine would be fine, I suppose, but water would be working well.
Okay. We have water. You can have some.
Thank you. That is exactly what I wanted. Jeez, when did I get to be such a chatterbox?
I bring it out to people.
And whilst you're gone, he starts lacquering your staff, and tells you not to hold it for a while. He gives you he places a rod in one end, just so you've got something to hold it, and he just tells you to leave it for about 4 or 5 hours to dry out. You'll be ready to use as a weapon again tomorrow.
Okay, I'll just lean it somewhere.
And if no one else would like to interact with the merchant, they'll carry on their merry way.
Well, I believe that was all whispered to Hodir, correct? So the rest of us aren't aware of everything that was just said.
Already.
No, just definitely not, unless we were eavesdropping. No, Mimir's got his whole distrust thing now.
I will go to speak to Philip after they've all buggered off.
Hello, Hodia. Welcome. How do you
I'm
always
sorry.
know how to find me?
I'm very lucky.
Of course.
So, I'm sorry to tell you, my friend. Your god is dead. Long live your god.
Decided to pass on the commands to the next one. They do that sometimes.
I heard something about him being killed and usurped, and I don't know. But anyway, I thought I should tell you.
No, my friend, that doesn't happen. You cannot kill the Aquilonian Emperor. He is untouchable.
Well, it must be nice to think that.
Not just think, believe. There is strength in belief. Oh dear.
Sure. Yes, there is strength in belief. But, you know, it is what happens, so... I will not tell you what to believe. It is fine. You can believe something wrong.
A difference of opinion is common amongst priests of different gods, Odia.
I'm not a priest.
You're not a priest in your mind, but you're a priest in your soul, I think. Gods don't whisper to just anyone.
I believe they do.
And there we differ again.
I always find it interesting to talk to you, Philip. And I walk away.
Die you. Do you tell everyone else about the change of... Of course you don't.
I'll tell Mimir.
Oh, okay.
So, the Emperor is dead. I'm not going to lie. I thought the Zamoran was the Emperor, but apparently it's the... I do not pay attention much to the politics, so... But apparently he was killed and usurped, and there was a rebellion, or someone was upset. I don't remember, but...
From my understanding, the Aquilonian would be the emperor god thing. The Zamoran is the king, but they don't... It's only kind of a proxy. They're not actually allowed to rule. It's just something they keep to keep control over the Zamorans, because if they had just killed the Zamoran king, they would have had a bigger problem, because they would have fought harder. It's a control move.
What is the point of being a king if you do not have any power?
I do not know.
Okay. It is
I do
weird
not
down
understand. It is.
here. I don't like it. I want to go north soon.
Me too. We should probably tell the princess.
She
It might explain the killing, actually. You said it's been... They told you it's been a few weeks. How many weeks?
I didn't really listen.
You have no eyes, but you did not listen.
I don't see what my eyes have to do with listening.
It was my understanding your ears had basically become your eyes, since you cannot see.
You make a good point, but very often people with eyes see but do not see, so...
You heard but did not hear.
I heard but did not listen. Something about weeks, and an emperor dying.
Well, if it's been weeks, it might coincide with the decision to start killing off the Zamoran king's family.
I do not see how it makes sense, but the timing fits.
Priestess seemed to know that Syra was not captured. I wonder if it's all a play to get her home.
think it was I think it was a play to murder the. She said after she had gotten the poison into the princess that her job was done and she didn't care what happened to her. So I think killing another one of the royal line was her goal. I mean, she might have taken our princess's head and added it with her sister's. And...
No, because that would have been off of the time mark from what they gave for the for the executions, which my understanding is that was being done pretty publicly.
Yeah,
as a show of power.
What more show of power than to say we are serious and our demands haven't been met? I mean, it was just a thought. I guess it doesn't have to be the case. I'm new to kind of thinking of this sort of thinking.
The way the priestess was acting was like she would leave her behind when they've been showing off the other heads. So that does not add up either. Maybe it was more personal than that.
Could be. It was indicated that they knew each other.
We'll push as long as we can, but we still need to make sure the little ones get rest and that we are getting adequate rest.
If we are going to push hard, I would say farther out to push hard is better for the...
Yeah.
Have some time to recover if it was too much.
We can rest before we come into sight of the city, and then take it a bit easier for when we need to fight. I'm still not 100% sure what we are fighting or why, but...
My homeland isn't free, and they're killing the royalty.
But who are we fighting?
The Aquilonian Emperor.
Okay.
/ God. It's why Philip has this major issue with the fact that we haven't just killed him. It's for the sake of your two friendship at this time that I haven't. But he has made it very clear that he intends to go back to his God Emperor.
No, if he is putting you in danger by being alive, then you can kill him. I do not mind. I will do it myself if you like.
I do not believe my life is in danger until we are too close.
I mean, when we are too close.
He has made it. He has made it. He's made it pretty clear, and he seems honorable. I think he will make it clear when he believes it is time for something to actually be done.
I mean, when we are close enough that they can see us, it does not matter if we let him go, really.
That is true.
What did we do with the other prisoners?
I believe you put them to same sort of indentured service, didn't you? The one got away.
Yeah, the one got away. The other that was being really, really adamant about being loyal and not exactly someone to show any honor beyond that, we beheaded that one. The rest, because they showed that, oh hey, we want to live, I believe we let them live.
I remember you used the guide to find herbs. You called the one out for being a coward, and the other one was just
coward would have been done in. We don't tolerate cowards.
So the coward would have been beheaded as well. The last one was sort of just quiet about the whole thing.
And that was Mimir beheaded them with Crosshair, right?
Yes.
Like, you did that yourself. Okay. Yeah, just wanted to check. Last time we took our eyes off a prisoner, my horse got stolen.
No. Your horse got stolen from the person you gave it to. It was no longer your horse.
I did not say my horse got stolen in that set. I just made the statement that the horse was stolen. As it were.
You said
I didn't
my
say it
horse,
was.
but
I didn't say it
stolen.
was stolen from me. I just said my horse was stolen.
But it wasn't yours anymore.
It was still my horse. Where were we?
Discussing whether or not we should be picking up pace.
We could pick up space if you like. I believe there's some space by the pig trees if you'd like to. I mean, I had to. What are you doing here? The Jarl is busy. Go away.
Why don't we pick up one of the night times, Hodir? You say you
Okay.
were keeping an eye on the wine?
Yes.
Well, one of these evenings, Christinia does visit, or Syra.
Hmm.
And she approaches you and says, Hodir, I would like some wine.
No.
I would like to use it to help me sleep. Where does this accent come from? I would like to use it to help me sleep.
Ah, princess! I knew that was you. You tried to disguise your voice. It's very sneaky. We are getting close to battle. You should not drink.
Okay. Is this because I got drunk in the priestess thing? Is that why?
You got drunk in the priestess thing?
No, that's not why. Don't worry about that.
Is that why she got you and stabbed you and almost killed you? And we're about to go into battle and you want to get more drink?
Do you know, it was strange. She didn't actually stab me at first. I think she tried to put all of us under some kind of spell of the mind.
And how many of you were taken under the spell of the mind?
Just me, Hodir.
Interesting. Would you like a drink?
No, I'll go and do some
Training?
patrols or something, yeah. She sort of like just walks away.
It's always nice to talk to you.
You too, Hodir. Later on, you're bound to hear like some post somewhere getting the living hell beaten out of it by princess and a sword that's probably a bit too big for her. So we'll wind forward then. After a week's travel, you see Zamora across the way. It's over the rise. It rises out of the desert like Atlantis rising from the sea. You can sort of see in the distance again behind it. There's mountains that frame the horizon, and it sits like a jewel bedded in the desert.
Jarl Bjarnason, have you ever seen something so beautiful as this?
No, I believe that would have required my death to go to Valhalla. Or the Summerlands if I am not quite honorable enough for Valhalla.
Are we going to attack it? Or are we just going to walk in and then start killing people? I do not know our exact plan for this.
We've always tried going by honor. Honor hasn't always served us right, but I think that is the best course to continue.
I could challenge someone to a duel.
My only concern is whether or not they will hold to that kind of honor. We could ask Philip, he would know.
He may lie. Or he may not tell the truth.
Well, if it is not the truth, then it is a lie.
Sometimes.
Best to ask the princess then.
It's good work.
Syra?
Yes. The jewel? What? Jewel?
We're thinking that maybe the best way to handle this would be to challenge the Emperor, God person, to a duel. Is that a thing?
No. Their entire society is based on the fact that this person is invincible. To duel would be to say that that is questionable. But there may be ways in. Zamora is portrayed as the jewel of the desert, the most grand city there is, but in earnest, from what I've seen, it's full of thieves. Like, full of dishonorable Zamorans all over the place. We could use that.
Mean, these are people that, from what I am understanding, have been... It'd be one thing if it was dishonorable Aquilonians all over the place, but it's Zamorans who are under rule of people that are not them.
Well, the way it seems is you get free choices. As she looks at Tiliang, you can go and work, you can join the army, or other.
Other being slave.
Well, yeah, okay, slave or thief, assassin. Funnily enough, there's been a number of attempts on my father. Some of the people resent him for letting oppressors take us.
Well, then if we are able to take the Aquilonians, I think they would all the more revere the ones that were able to do that. Not that that's what I'm looking for myself, but I think it would do well for you.
Yes. Well, I mean, the other contingents from Yazud should be along in the next few days, right? They were following behind us. The priests people?
Oh, what? Sorry.
The priests
Thinking.
people, you know? They were following behind.
We did pick up speed though, and we have no idea what speed they were moving.
They probably don't have horses or anything like that.
It is the belief of the Aquilonians that their emperor is a god and that their god is untouchable, which is a common thing in most cases. I mean, yeah, our gods die, but they don't stay dead, so clearly you can kill them, but they don't stay dead, which I think is a little bit stronger. It's like you die and then you're alive again.
They turn up in weird places. Turn into weird things.
Oh, how often is sorcery and all that a thing within the Aquilonian peoples?
Some priests are said to have the gift, but I've never
And the god?
seen it. No. Except for his immortality.
A mortal were to challenge a god, of course that's laughable, but if a god were to challenge a god,
What are you thinking?
it is my belief that he is no more a god than I am. The only concern I have at that point is what my gods would think of me claiming myself to be one when I am not.
What, slightly different tact? What if you claimed to be a god killer?
It is a thing that has happened in my society, where a mortal has managed to wound or take out a god. I don't know. Oh dear, what do you think?
I think it could maybe work, but I don't think it would help us with the people. If a god or a god killer killed a god, then the god is still a god, and the structure
Yes.
around it remains.
Unless that god then disbands that structure because that is not part of how they wish to be.
Belief is difficult. I think there would be more resistance if the lie was kept there. I'm assuming we all agree that this is a lie, that he is immortal, and it is chicanery. So, the best thing to do would be have a mortal kill him in full view of people.
Which would disband the belief that he is an untouchable god. Maybe they may continue to believe the Aquilonian emperors are gods, but they are not unkillable gods, and that would be a very strong change in belief all on its own.
Yes. The best thing to do would be to capture him and execute him in a square, something like that. But if you can't do that, then cut off his head, run around with it. You know. Basically what they have been
running around with a head.
I've been trying to think about how to tackle this. I think if we have some people coming to reinforce us or to help, then we could make a show of force outside the city and draw them out and engage them outside the city. I do not like urban fighting.
Nor do I. I mean,
Or-
it's not like we ever have cities on this scale anyways. It's foolish.
If we want to go a bit more stealthy, one of us, I will do it, can lead the soldiers, the warriors, draw them out, and then you can slip in, deal the killing blow to the emperor. If you have the princess with you, she should be able to guide you, and you can keep your head down, but there will be less guards because they'll be out here fighting us. Depends
Okay.
whether you want to wait for the others, who maybe they are dead, I don't know.
As you all discuss, a horse breaks from the camp. You can see clearly from the clothes. Philip is making his break.
Did he hear us?
No. He's a way away, within bowshot though.
Billy, I would have done this myself, but there's no way I can.
Well, I mean, you said the magic word, so if I can take a shot, I will.
The horse or the man?
The man.
The man.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, do we not want to kill a horse?
I mean, it's, not something I woke up... Well, I mean, I guess none of this is something I woke up wanting to do today, but...
You should use momentum. Oh crap, I'm too late.
Ooh, yes. Your arrow will hit. Please roll some damage.
Goodbye, my friend. I did not get to kill you after all. Oof.
Ooh. 5 and 1 effect, is that what I'm seeing?
Correct.
Yes.
And the effects of your hunting bow are...
I would assume it was the
Piercing?
other bow, right?
There's piercing 1. Yeah. I was using the longbow. It has longer reach actually.
Okay. Piercing 1, so it ignores soak. Ooh. Anything else on there? My cat just sneezed. That's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
I thought that was a
Volley.
glass clinking.
Sorry, say again, Natalie.
Volley, but I think we only activated one effect, right?
Mm-hmm. So as the arrow hits and hits some of his soak as well, straight through the soak rather, it hits him in the back as he's riding away, and he slumps forward onto the horse, but the horse doesn't stop running.
Is there time for another shot? Well, I guess he's slumped forward. I would think that's good enough.
No, we want to make sure he does not make the gate. We don't know that he's dead just because he's slumped. That does not.
That's true.
Now that he's out of range, you'll have to angle your shot up a bit. It's going to be difficulty 2.
Now use momentum.
Now, yeah. Oop, that's almost did the roll damage first thing again.
Second arrow just misses. Either goes just slightly over or slightly under, one or the other.
Probably under.
Cut it short sort of thing. Yep. Yeah, so the second arrow does not hit, and now the horse will be charging out of range.
Oh, maybe he won't be in a state to deliver information when he arrives at the gate.
Maybe he is dead.
It's possible.
Well, there's no way for us to know at this point in either way. We tried.
And so did he. So.
Well, he has always proven to be a man of his word. I cannot fault him for that.
What should we do now?
We continue.
Which strategy would you like to go with?
Without knowing how far behind us reinforcement is, I do not know. I would say, if anything, we wait one day so that maybe Philip's body arrives ahead of time. We don't know if he can speak or not. Hoping that he cannot. And maybe that reinforcement is not that far behind. We proceed towards the gate tomorrow.
I could attempt to go scout out and see.
That could be good. Well, scout out for which? Because a scout either direction could actually be helpful. Because I'm sure he will describe a group, but if a single person goes up to the gate, assuming that we did not kill him.
That's true, and it's my homeland, so I will be less out of place than many others in the group.
As in almost the entire rest of the group, save Syra.
Yeah.
I could go too if you want.
No,
That
I
is
think
a
it's
terrible
best if you stay back.
Last time we trusted Aquilonians around you, they tried to kill you.
Also, you could say you were with that merchant caravan, the small one, and that we raided you and you ran away. There you go. There's cover. Well, I'll go get the warriors prepared for what we need to do when we need to do it. I walk away.
got to be the most said line of this campaign, I think. I walk away. Even Mimir was at it last week.
Well, Mimir did a proper, like, full-on mic drop. Like, you are a coward. I'll walk away.
So, how long do you wait before you send Tiliang in?
How long ago was it that we met with the caravan? Not that long. The small one, the merchants.
Maybe a day.
Maybe a day. And we waited a day. It would be a good time to send her onward then.
As you wait for a day, there is a horse that comes out that evening towards you. A horse leading a horse, actually.
Okay.
They approach, and it is the guard that made away.
Is the guard that ran away?
It's the guard that ran away, that stole your horse and ran away. He comes back leading 2 chestnut horses. One, he's riding a chestnut horse, and also leads a paint horse.
Would you like to talk to him, Jarl, or should I?
I'll talk to him.
Oh, come with you.
Hey there! Good to see you again.
Hello?
Terrible business, that in the desert. Very sorry about all of that. Unfortunately, the horse didn't make it. Here's a replacement horse. You didn't see any sign of Sleipnir on the journey. When the priest arrived, we took him in. He's badly injured. That was a bloody good shot. He is in the infirmary now. I knew you would have to be here. The Emperor invites you all to dine with him.
I do not know how you feel about invitations to eat with Aquilonians after my last meal with Aquilonians.
Yes.
You will have to forgive me for that.
There was a snake.
Yes,
was a snake.
You'd have to forgive me as well. I'm not used to traveling with priestesses. I didn't realize they turned into snakes and such. But I can assure you that the Emperor would be willing to parley with you in a decent fashion and get you whatever it is that you're wanting.
And I am sure all he wants is the princess, correct?
It's not yet to be seen. He doesn't honor one such as me with his inclinations and whims, but I imagine probably yes.
I'm sure that's all well within line for godly behavior.
Well, actually, what with the way that he is, he probably doesn't actually know too much about her, to be honest. Mostly acting under the will of advisors during the transition period.
The transition is something that everyone is aware of at this point.
Occasionally, occasionally gods have to pass their godliness on, keep the mortal vessel young and all that,
My gods do no such thing.
Perhaps your gods are fakes.
Perhaps my gods are stronger and do not need mortal vessels.
There's no way that us talking about it can really resolve it, is there?
We could fight about it.
We could fight about it if you wish.
Didn't I knock you down on your ass once?
Yes, you did. But I'm, if I don't return, that would send a clear message.
Against my better judgment, I will go ahead and meet God Emperor.
Excellent. Oh, then I'll go and tell him tell him all about your inclinations, and we'll prepare a nice feast for you all. Even in times of hardship, we can make sure there's plenty of food on the table for honoured guests. After all, you're returning the princess. Yes. Be that as it may.
Looks like we got a new friend!
I believe I'm supposed to offer thanks for returning the princess.
Surely you should wait until we have returned her.
Yes, that's sort of why I'm hesitating, but, no, you're quite right. You're quite right. She is too invited to this dinner this evening. If you don't wish to bring her along, then that's fine, but,
Well, I have a feeling since you're gonna go ahead and tell him that if she does not come along, there will be people watching us, and that when I go, she will mysteriously come up missing from my camp and be where you guys want her anyways.
sounds like acts of the gods to me, huh?
Axe?
Acts, acts. We were talking about gods, that's jape. Don't worry about it. Northerners, you don't have much in the way of humour. I will go and report your news, and I'll look forward to seeing this evening at dinner.
Leave the horses.
I've left you this one in replacement for Sleipnir. This one here.
All of them.
Sleipnir was, of course, worth 3 horses on his own.
This one's a champion racehorse. He points to the paint horse.
You owe us for Sleipnir and the life you took. Leave all the horses and walk back.
No, just slept now. 3 horses. Give me.
Have it your way.
I usually do.
He hops off the horse, removes his belongings from it, his sword and helmet on the side. It's your saddle, though, and all the things that were on your horse in the first place, so... and starts trudging back towards the city. He's got sort of like a swinging gait. He starts swinging his right arm.
Does anyone want a horse?
I think we can give Zyra a bit of a rest on her feet.
Well,
She's come a long way in the months.
I do not really need the horses. I would just wanted to see if you would give me them.
That is fine with me.
So we are going to a feast?
We are indeed.
I feel like that is a lot different from what I was expecting.
Oh, I do not trust it anymore. After the last priestess incident.
I think it's called a dinner, but I think it's still going to be a battle, even if it's just words. I'm also pretty sure it's a trap.
Can be pretty sure it's a trap.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want a trap, but I'm not great with words.
I think you are better than words than you think. You skip all the fancy words and you cut right to the point. Stuff like that will throw them off because they are not used to that.
Well, if you're going, I'm coming, so...
I think we'll have a contingent of our warriors stick back and wait for the reinforcements so that someone can tell them what we have done.
We should tell the princess as well.
We should.
She should not come.
I do not see her agreeing, and I don't see her staying behind after us.
We should also maybe get some hostages before we go.
Well, we just let one go.
He was not really worth much, so he failed everything he was told to do. I doubt he will be held in very high esteem back there. Especially seeing as they sent him here to get killed.
I'm tired of these tests. I just want to get this all over with.
We could just charge the city and burn it. I'm happy with that too.
We do have the poisons, and we are going to a feast with the Emperor.
We have poisons?
Yes, we had them. We found them in the tent last time when we were looking for health.
Yes. A handful.
But the priest would know about them as well, so...
I'm sure they will check our belongings. Okay. Syra,
Yes?
are any of your dances with blades?
Only the ones that I've worked on with you, Mimir.
How easily do you think you would be able to infuse that with your own dances? I'm thinking that you may put on a show.
Not much like the idea of putting on a show for the man who's murdering my family.
The idea is it would give you the ability to have blades in hand. Although we never did work on your throwing, did we?
No, but Tiliang helped me learn to shoot. I imagine it's not quite the same.
Aiming is similar, but knowing when to release is different. Tiliang, do you have any experience in that?
I do not have any experience in throwing weapons.
We should practice a bit then. I imagine we have a little bit of time. It will not be much. As long as your weapons are well balanced, it should not be more difficult than throwing a ball, I would think.
I'm sure throwing a ball is very easy.
I have good news. I have named the horses. This one is Njord, this one is Idun, and this one is Baldur.
Those are all good names.
Would you like the spelling for the scrap, just in case? You're muted.
I would love that, yes.
I'll chuck it in chat as well, so that everyone can misspell them as they like.
Well, then there goes that idea. If you haven't even thrown a ball, I don't think an hour of practice is gonna matter at all.
I've watched people throw balls.
Watching is not quite the same as doing. If you want to give it a try, we can give it a try, but it's not like you have to be able to catch at this point. You just have to be able to throw in accurately. spell it out for you. The idea is that you will be dancing for the Emperor, and then you're gonna throw the dagger at the Emperor. You know our heart is, right?
Yes, middle of the chest.
Little to the left, but yes. Not much. But that is the thing when aiming, that tiniest of adjustment, the further away you are, the wider, just like shooting the bow. That is one of the ways it is similar. If you're not comfortable, it is not worth even practicing.
Is there something else I can do?
At this point, we're going into what is most likely a trap. I think the big thing is just don't get killed. It's pretty much all our goals right now.
If we cannot use my dance, then instead of entering like a dancer, can I enter like a warrior?
We do not know if they will let us keep our weapons. If they will let you, then take the opportunity.
It's worth a try. They dismiss women mostly.
We should use that then. Okay. I think enough time has passed. I know you've felt that for some time.
Yes. I didn't
How
see
many
an...
of us going?
I can't make that decision. How many of us, Mimir?
I think as few as absolutely needed. Girls are underrated. We'll take our 2 eldest girls and our 2 eldest boys with us. I want the rest to see if they can meet up with the reinforcements.
Who would lead them?
The 3rd eldest, regardless of gender.
I really hope that is not Snotty.
Snotty is the 2nd eldest male.
So he's coming with us? My face does not move, but you feel like I disapprove very strongly and will not word it.
The only reason we have seen any sort of change in him at all is in showing him that we do trust him. And while he has messed up with responsibility, he's also shown remorse. He's came a long way from the slave pit.
Sometimes you are too kind.
I am beginning to see that.
I will go with what you say, because you are young. And I will believe that he has promise. But I think he is an idiot, and he will get himself and maybe other people killed.
No. No other way to find out. So.
True.
Okay. So we just head in and try to assassinate the Emperor? Is that the...
That's essentially where we're at now. Yes.
Are we going to strike first, or do we wait for betrayal?
I think we would surprise them at this point because they have had several people that have reported that we hold honor and high regard, which we do. So breaking that mold on them would not be an expected thing, I do not think.
It will mar your word as Jarl in the future. And you know, I'm not exactly one to break your word or your honor.
We'll wait till the first sign then. The second something feels off. I think I've held a bit longer than that first second. Stuff has been off every time so far anyways.
I am happy to wait for that. Although I am happy to break words and betray honor, that is fine too. I merely mentioned it because I do not think it's something you would be comfortable with.
I haven't been comfortable with any of this for a long time. It is where we are. I believe we've been put on this path for some reason, even if it is just amusement.
I'm gonna write a rune in the sand.
Curiosity, which rune? Someone who kind of knows the runes too.
It's just one for the grumpy one up there.
For Tyr?
No, for my one. He isn't one of the Nordlander gods.
Oh.
The first time in weeks, Hodir, that you felt something from your god, he left you alone as you
Looks
wanted
like we
for
got a
a
new
while, it
friend.
seems. Welcome, Raiders from Tales from the Grim. Oh, hi, everyone. Welcome as we get ready to head towards a ceremony that would be nothing like the Red Wedding. This it's gonna be fantastic. We're just having dinner. It's gonna be great.
Looks like we got a new friend.
And Wandering DM as well. Double raids. Welcome everyone. Welcome all the raiders. Oh
Hey,
hi.
Simon.
Welcome. Hodir, for the first time in weeks, you feel something from your god. Secrets. Shadows. Hidden agendas. That's the... you're getting. Betrayal underlines all of it.
I'm gonna write, just like sketch another rune with my staff, and I don't know, project the feeling of going to kill the Emperor. See what response that gets. I know he doesn't like mortals.
Yeah. It's sort of questioning respect. Sort of like, will you though?
Yeah, well, seems everyone's getting to know her there. Okay. I will, when do we go?
Might as well lead now. If they're going to knows, maybe they give us a tour and we get to see some of the nice things before they decide they want to kill us.
Okay. I will take a sword as well. And I'd like to go over, pick up a sword, stuff it in my belt. I'll take that as well. Although I don't have the stats and stuff for it, Scrat, so...
Oh, we'll just add an extra damage dice to it.
Oh,
sorry. I was typing and I thought you were talking about your staff. Do you want new things for your staff or?
I want to pick up a sword as well.
Ah, okay. Yeah. We can totally do that. We'll just port you one across. I'll add that in whilst you guys get ready for the next scene.
Thank you. First time Hodir has picked up a proper weapon again in a long time. He was going to get one a while back, but he'd spent all his money on an axe. It's the most expensive bribe ever.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you would like to do before you head into the city?
You'd think Mimir's going to be doing something that they haven't done this entire time, and he's actually going to take some time with their gods.
Yeah.
Is this privately? Or are you...
How does this look? Can you describe the? Do you do a ritual? Do you? How does this look?
They would draw out each of the appropriate runes for them, and those would be, the Nordic runes. Of which Tyr actually has his own. I'm trying to recall the rest of them. I mean, I could grab my book of shadows, but that's running back and forth. It's silliness. We'll just say that appropriate runes.
Yeah. As you trace these runes, you can feel the power in them. You've always been able to feel it. And the gods approve of hearing from you. It seems they also approve of you in general.
That would be reassuring. At least with the idea that if he doesn't survive this, he has been honorable. So.
Get the impression that they are willing to welcome you to somewhere should the needs arise. I wouldn't say they'd promise you one place or the other, but
I think we'll actually do one of his sorcery things, because this would probably be about the only time to do it.
Okay.
The stars are right.
Stars are right. And what are you hoping to... you trying to get some sort of precog about what's going to happen this evening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So sorcery is hella complicated in Conan, but essentially to get this working, the first thing I need you to do is make me a sorcery check of difficulty 1.
Okay.
How you can add momentum to add more dice, but anything that is not a success counts as a complication.
All right. Yeah, we'll go ahead and spend 1 momentum. How many momentum have we spent at this time? That's 2, right?
Yeah, I have your track at around 7, I think. Does that sound right to you guys?
Yeah.
I've got 3 numbers, but I didn't mark which one was the last one. And I know I'm prone to going up and down, so I've got.
It was a little bit higher than where I had mine, so I'm happy to go up a little bit on my tracker.
Cool. We'll say it's 7 then.
Wait, no. No, that wasn't supposed to be that one. Ignore that roll. That was the wrong.
Make a lovely cup of tea.
That's real shame as well, because they're both really good roll.
Yeah.
Right. Not 32. That would be a momentum debt to run 32, right?
Yes, that would use all of your momentum and pay me around 25-ish doom.
No. No. I'm not giving you that.
I can only lose so many body parts.
Okay, so we've got 2 successes but 3 dice there, so there's 1 fail, 1 complication. So as you are communing, you sense the gods offering you something. You just have to willingly submit, as you have been. Perhaps you know this ritual can sometimes lead to visions, and it would seem you're being offered one.
I'll go ahead and I'll take it.
You are in a dining chamber. But sitting around you are not the Emperor and your friends and all the like. In every seat except your own sits a snake. That is all the vision shows you so far. You can add momentum to get more from it. Of course, adding
One
momentum means more complications as well.
Yeah, 1 more. So is that another roll then?
Yes, please.
Okay. And that's another sorcery roll, correct?
Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah. Or just roll as a d20 actually and just compare it to your sorcery skill.
I'm sure you can figure that out. That confused me. Sure.
Okay, so that looks like a success to me. You see, you understand this to be the past as one snake comes along and a smaller snake eats the big snake sitting at the head of the table, consuming it and digesting it. However, as the little snake does this, a black snake sneaks from the shadows and starts coming up next to the young snake as it's digesting, and its tongue licks at the side of its head. Like a worm.
You think that's enough?
I can give you more if you want more.
No. The rest of the party needs momentum. I'm not gonna hog it all.
I mean, if you run out of momentum, you can always pay me doom instead. I mean, it's, you know, there's always a commodity for doing more. I'm just saying. You got 5, you know, you got loads. Anyway. Anyways. Okay, so that's what you get from your vision. Do you convey this to anyone? Do you keep it to yourself? Do you tell the people going with you?
I'll talk with Hodir about it.
What do you think it means?
Well, I think the reason everyone is snakes in the vision is because everyone has the potential to betray another. You never know when that could happen. I believe the little snake eating the big snake is the new emperor having a hand in the death of the old one. And the Black Snake, I believe, would be his advisors. This Emperor may have good meanings. But his advisors are going to be the problem.
It is possible, perhaps, that there's some outside. I mean, I don't know. I don't really go into the mystical and religious side of things if I can avoid it, but it could be some external force, spirits, demons, possession, all this kind of thing. Perhaps.
It could be.
I don't know. The Black Snake, it speaks that kind of thing to me. But
It does. That are people who never intended well to begin with.
maybe.
Mid-conversation, a word enters your consciousness that shakes you. It merely says, "Sacrifice."
Okay.
Should we eat before we go?
You think that would be smart?
I mean, I'm not going to eat the food there. I will say that.
We don't know what their views are on people not eating, but I think if we take one bite off the plates, we should be to where we would not be rude.
But they like
I
poison.
just want to follow the rules from home. Generally, I recall if you were invited to someone's house and they offered you food and you did not eat, it's pretty damn rude.
Yes, but the host also tasted the food first to make sure it wasn't poison.
We'll make sure the host eats first then.
Okay.
And if they question us, we will say that it's custom in our country. It is no lie.
I will go find food then. And then we can go. And I walk away.
Would Mimir like to do anything else with their evening?
I think they've got enough.
Okay. In that case, I guess we should head down once you've eaten, of course. Tiliang, is there anything that you'd like to do? You've not done much in this sequence. Is there anything that you'd like to do in preparation for this?
I guess I'd like to find time to pull the princess aside and talk to her.
Hello, Tiliang.
Hello, Your Majesty. I just want to let you know going in tonight that I was cowardly in the tent, and I don't know how much of a hope we have of being a united and free country again, but I think my cowardice helped put you at risk, and I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to stand strong, and I will fall before you do, because we need our country back.
It's a very kind gesture, Tiliang, but cowardly? You? How?
I was trying to escape and get as far away as I could while you were standing there mesmerized. Mimir stood strong, and they kept by you, but I was trying to leave and save myself, and I would rather have to know that my country has the best chance of being itself again than to continue living through all of this. And she'll Tilly will take a knee, sort of, and bow her head to the princess.
Tilly, priestess was using sorcery. I don't blame you for trying to run away.
I was still shooting. I was trying to help, but and you were down, and thank you, Your Majesty.
Please, and you were still shooting? There's nothing to even forgive.
Well, you have my full resolve, and I will do whatever I can to help you tonight and going forward until we have a free Zamora again.
I appreciate that, and I fear we may need it.
You are welcome, and I fear we do too.
And we must get dressed and ready.
Yes, we must.
And she'll sort of help you up and squeezes your wrist as you start walking away. It's familiar. You know, it's not like royalty to anyone else. She's being familiar with you.
She'll look around real fast and not. I mean, there could be some people around, but nobody's really like watching them. She'll go in and hug the princess.
She hugs you back.
Like a quick.
Yeah. There's a moment of shock, and then she just sort of like, "It's okay, Tilly."
All right. Thank you, Your Majesty. We'll get through tonight and see what tomorrow brings.
I wonder, can you sneak your bow into your armor anywhere?
I can certainly try. Perhaps my original bow. It's a little smaller.
Do you think we should tell Mimir about it?
I think the less people that know, the better. Bamir having plausible deniability seems good.
Okay. If you get a chance and you see you have a clear shot at my sibling's killer, take it.
I will do so, without hesitation, Your Majesty.
And so we proceed to the feast. Why don't you all let me know if there's any dress changes or anything you do. I need to take a quick bio, so I'm going to give you a moment to describe if you make any extra preparations. I'll be right back shortly.
Okay. Well, it will surprise no one that Hodir makes basically no changes aside from the sword. He's dressed as he's always dressed, aside from when he's chasing horses down naked. So yeah, he's just got a sword in his belt basically, and waiting for you guys to. Are you guys getting changed? Are you changing into anything else, or?
I'm kitted out for battle essentially. So.
I'm not sure that kidding for battle would make sense when we're supposed to be sitting down for a dinner.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe borrow another outfit from the princess?
Yeah, we can do that. Prefer something with a little more coverage. I say kidding out for battle, but all she has is a padded jerkin and a bow. It's not like a full set of armor or anything like that.
If you
not like any of us have shopped for clothes since we were slaves.
If you have something to like go over it, you could kit out for battle and then have like something a bit more.
Yeah.
Over that. And as Jarl and kind of the military leader, you could probably get away with just being, more battled out.
Yeah. He would have a Kvasir. Actually, he does have a brilliant scarlet cloak that he managed to smuggle, so he'd probably have that. Which, fitting of position.
Yeah. It's
Before
like
a position ever happened. It's like when I rolled him out, stuff knew things. Creepy.
There seems to be a lot of creepy going on tonight. I like that.
Going through the belongings, when I rolled him out, one of the things that I haven't really paid attention much is to the stuff. He actually has a nice scarlet cloak. This would be a great time to break that out.
Yeah, a nice scarlet cloak which would match your axe, come to think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. I took a sword.
Brilliant. Well, we will get to the palace grounds then. As you approach, there is 5 guards on either side. Each of them holds a halberd, but they allow you to pass. When you get to the gates, there is a clerk there who comes along. Tiliang, roll me a stealth. The clerk comes along and says, "Right, hello there. You are the guests, are you, for this evening's dinner? I understand now, Jarl Mimir, is that correct?" They say, looking at Mimir.
That would be correct.
Fantastic. And the blind man must be Hodir. Princess, is that you? And she sort of draws herself up, but doesn't say anything. Okay, well, look, here's the thing. No weapons in the palace. However, I'm here to write you out an official ticket for each one, an official receipt, and you will get your weapons back on exit of the palace.
I'm sure we will.
Very quaint little system. By the way, the city was like almost empty tonight. Like before a storm. It's like people know.
I'm taking position during all this on Mimir's shoulder, left shoulder, I guess. So, close by.
Right, so if you're willing then, that would be... Is it just the one axe, is it? Jarl, your grace? Or how do you prefer to be addressed? I'm not quite familiar with Northern culture.
It's unfortunate. You guys spend a lot of time conquering. You should at least learn the cultures you're conquering.
Oh, no, we tend to... Well, you're familiar with our ways. How awkward. Anyway, enough of that unpleasantness. I can write you I'm merely here to give you receipts. Just the one axe, is it?
The one axe.
Lovely. Battle axe. Fine. Is that a suitable description?
Varsia.
Oh my. Say that again.
Kvasir.
Cavassier, right. Courv...
Kvas.
Kvas...
IR.
IR. Oh, how quaint. So few letters. Very nice. Brilliant. Battle axe, fine. Cavassier. Great. And, do you withhold anything, Mimir?
I'm not sure I follow what you mean by do I withhold anything.
Any, like, hidden daggers or anything like that?
Would I hide daggers when I have my axe out? What sense does that make?
Well, you'd be surprised the amount of people who pick up a sword for the first time so they can be like, oh yes, here's my sword. But no, do not take that as a thing. I trust you. Just a battle axe it is. And you there. Sword, and a staff?
He requires the staff to walk. If you cannot see, neither can he.
Is he talking to me?
Yes, you there with the staff. Oh dear.
Ah, yes.
You
my
mean
name's
with
Ron.
the sight aid?
The sight aid. Right. Thing is, we've heard about your prowess with the staff, oh dear. The guard told us in some length about how you bested free men with it. Perhaps in this instance he could rest a hand on someone's shoulder?
Y'all?
If you required a dog to smell things for you, would you ask someone to take your dog?
It depends if it had big teeth and muscles, I guess. If it was like a war dog, perhaps. Ah.
All I see is a walking stick.
Can you make me a persuasion or command or any of those relevant skills?
I have a question for you, small man.
Yes.
Why did you let the god live who came back? Why did you let the god live, the one who came back?
He came with information about the princess.
But he failed over and over again. I bested him, I knocked him on his ass. He failed all of his objectives. He let the princess die, he did not kill the princess. He barely escaped. He let us take all of his horses.
Well, that's not quite the recount that he gave. He said that you bested free men, but not him.
No, I bested him.
I'm not here to argue. I'm just recounting. And
But
he's
you're disagreeing. Disagreeing is arguing, is it not?
well, I guess, and I suppose we're getting lost in the semantics now. But
Well, enough with semantics. I think at this point I count 3 cowards that I've met.
quite, yes. I'm a pen pusher, not one to take up a sword. You could strike me down in an instant, and I wouldn't fight you.
At least you're an honest coward. That's more honorable than the other 2.
Plus, pens can be pushed in very painful places.
I don't quite do that sort of pen pushing, no. I actually took up accounting to avoid fighting altogether. It's amazing the lack of accounting there is in the entire empire, to be honest. You'd be amazed the amount of slaves that don't have any dockets or anything. Anyway, I guess since we've been chatting, I can let you keep the stuff for now. But do promise not to do any damage with it, will you?
No,
Please?
no.
Jarl?
That was not in character.
Sorry.
Jarl, you see why I'm trying to need to take the staff, don't you?
Well, to be fair, we cannot necessarily trust that harm will not come to us, and if you were attacked, would you not try to defend yourself? I believe that is what he means by he cannot promise that he won't use it to hurt people, because he cannot promise that he will not defend himself.
If someone attacks my Jarl, I will hurt them.
Okay. How about this? Do promise not to hurt anyone unless anyone attacks you or your Jarl. How's that? Or anyone else in your party. I'll throw them all in. Huh.
That is fair. We can do that.
If the Jarl says yes, then yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So 1 staff, 1 short sword, notched. That seems like everything, doesn't it? Brilliant. There we go. And you there, just the 1 bow on your back there? You appear to be moving your mouth, but I can't hear any words.
I'm sorry. It's just this bow.
Just this bow. Fantastic. And take the bow. 1 bow. Oh, this is quite nice. Do you have a special name for this or anything? Bow deer or anything like that? No?
No.
Right, horned.
Cool.
Bronze. Does that seem fair?
Yes.
And arrows 20. Lovely. Doesn't mention the anything else, Tilly. And Princess, I see you've taken to wearing a sword. It seems seems I don't know, it seems strange to ask someone if to give them a receipt for something on their own house. I imagine you won't be leaving. Okay, Princess, look, here's the thing. I'll let you keep hold of that there weapon that you've got. Just... You know, just don't also try and wave it about or anything. I'd hate for one of the guards to have to put you down. Okay, well then, if that's all the weapons, and you there as well, sword and shield, notched, slightly dented, lovely. That's receipts for everyone. On your way out, we will make sure you're all returned to your rightful weapons. Now you just go down the corridor there and follow the noise of music. Have a good evening. You try to enjoy yourselves.
We do our best.
Tough crowd. Okay. Well, have a good night. And do you move away? He starts, like, taking his pen and, like, turning it over.
So... yeah, Tilly moves on. Assuming the princess does.
Yeah, the princess will move on. The princess was allowed to keep her weapon, seeing as this is her house.
And I've got to keep my staff, right?
Yes, you got to keep your staff, and Tilly does indeed have a bow hidden down her, I don't know where she's hidden it, but she's got a bow hidden on her person. And, yep, well, have a good evening then, see you later, just follow the music.
I imagine the bow is, like, unstrung and then, like, awkwardly, like, angled around her somehow or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Walking a bit stiff-legged, maybe. So yeah, it gives you directions in the castle, and you may move ahead. And as you head inside, you do indeed hear music from a little way on.
So, should we assume... Wait, are there any guards or anything with us, like, who can hear us?
There are not, but also this is you are in a sort of courtyard leading into a central dome. So as you come out of this entranceway, this gatehouse, it opens into these large circular gardens. So you are alone. You just have to head straight on, apparently, and follow the sound of music.
Okay. So should we assume more attempts to sorcerer us and poison us and etc.? Like underhand stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
I think they'd be kind of foolish not to.
Well, let us see how this goes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really all that's left at this point. Against better judgment, I think, Princess, our best bet might be to have you to speak with the new emperor there.
I mean,
With what I was told, I did not tell the princess.
I am happy to speak to him, if you like.
We could try, because he might be used to advisors and how advisors tend to talk, which is always double-edged blades to begin with. Your bluntness might actually get through a lot faster. I like that.
It seems as though they think you are merely here to return me.
I'm sure that is what they are assuming.
They don't seem to be making a big fuss about it or anything.
We'll see.
As you enter the central dome, it's a short corridor that leads in, and you can hear a room, not full, but you can hear voices, chattering and laughing. And as you enter, you see a boy, maybe 10 years old, in the center of the room, dressed in fine silks. And he is making japes and talking with people. And as you enter, he turns around and says, "Ah, my new guests! Welcome!"
Oh dear, he's just a child.
This will be easy.
Don't underestimate him. From what my vision said, he is the reason that his father is gone. This is all whispered, of course.
Now, okay, so ground rules. You're not supposed to touch me because I'm an immortal god. So I can't touch anyone, but I can bow and welcome you gracefully. I've never met a...
Not touch people.
Sorry?
You yourself cannot touch people.
Yes, no contact with people whatsoever.
Contagious.
Who knows? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why you all die. Welcome now. What a jolly thing to discuss. Why don't you be seated? Welcome. We're very grateful to you for bringing back the princess.
To be honest, she was pretty eager to not lose any more family.
Oh yes, I can imagine. Terrible business, that.
Was that your dealing?
It's one of the directives, yes. I don't have my finger quite on it, but I can look into it.
But are you not God? God should know everything.
Well, I suppose it's just, I'm new to the role, I guess. Maybe it comes with the full power. The transition period will empower me. He thinks it's a joke. He's laughing. Someone leans forward from the right-hand table, and they whisper something to him, and he sort of calms down a little bit and goes, "Oh yes. Well, I'm supposed to ask what it is that you would like in return for returning the princess." What boon do you ask of me?
A duel. I would have a duel.
I can arrange a duel.
With you.
Oh, no, I don't duel.
Oh, see, but what you said was no one touches you. I never said I planned on touching you. If you are a god, then a duel with me should be easy, should it not?
Well, that's entirely the problem. I don't duel because it would be too easy.
Well, what's wrong with a little fun, then?
And the boy furrows his brow. You hear a gasp from Christinia, behind you, as an elderly man walks forward on a cane. And he leans over the chair and whispers into the boy's ear. Yes, okay, brilliant. A duel. 2 days time then. We'll have it on the at noon, where everyone can see.
I like this.
You shall be my guests for the duration. I insist.
Do you mind introducing us to your friends here? You seem to have the advantage of knowing all of us.
I know of you, y'all. But looking around, let's see. We've got my uncle, Uncle Bonadir, my aunt Felicia, and my trusted advisor. And he points back and to the Zamoran man on the cane. The king of the Zamorans. Have I named this person before? Good. Grenra.
So then that would be the princess's father then?
Yes, that's my father.
Just to be sure.
Come, let us eat! And he sits down cross-legged at this circular table and invites you to do so as well. There is a small array of scorpions and such laid out for a starter.
Oh. I'm sure it is nothing they are unfamiliar with at this point.
Eat what you can get.
Mimir will stick to the customs of their people and wait for the little child to eat first.
Yeah. So he continues to talk. I'm really interested in your journey. I've not been across the desert yet. I was born and raised here, but my father said that it's really hard to go across the desert. So you must be really committed.
Well, I can't say it was all by choice.
How do you mean?
I'm sure you tell I am not from here. If I'd had my choice in things, then I would have stayed home.
That's the interesting thing. You see, the advisors were telling me, I can say this, can't I? Yes. That you probably would be looking for, like, reparations to your homeland, or that you'd want us to stop invading, and then you'd return the princess, and all of that sort of thing, but it seems, well, she's come dressed like you.
You wear what you have available. Mine, it's been a couple months. One outfit does not last very long, does it, when you're wearing it every day?
Oh, okay. And he'll sort of like lean forward in the silence and pick up a scorpion and just snap the pincer off the tail, flick it aside, and start to eat the meat.
Okay. Oh, I guess at that point it's polite to eat then.
Yeah, he's crunching away. There's some like feet and stuff in there that he's giving a good old crunch to. Tasty though, tasty enough, lightly peppered. Feels like maybe it's been fried in some sort of special nut oil or something. Tastes good. So I guess from lack of conversation, we'll have to get down to hard bargaining. So,
I was kind of hoping that you would have some form of entertainment.
oh yes, we
That's
can do
what this would be a
entertainment.
feast.
Yes. There'll be entertainment between courses. we have the princess's sister is still a dancing girl. She'll dance for us. Not the day after tomorrow, but tonight she can dance for us. Do you like it?
I'm not sure how I feel about dancing. Last time someone offered to dance for us, they turned around and tried to kill us.
I did hear about that. I'm very sorry. I don't know who these renegades are or what purpose they were acting on, but...
Well, that was one of your own priestesses.
Yes, quite the renegade, I'm afraid, left during the uprising. If you would like to roll a deception check to spot a lie.
I would. Where's that? If I could figure out. I don't see a deception thing. Was that actually fall under?
Oh, is there not a deception thing?
No.
Try linguistics then. Linguistics would work.
Alright.
He seems genuine. Or at least that's what he's been advised.
Mm-hmm.
The advisors have gone very quiet since you all entered the room. Except for the occasional whisper, they let the boy do the talking.
I'm imagining little puppet strings all over him.
So, do you have advisors too, Mimir?
Oh yes, I have Hodir here.
Hello! He's very quiet.
Is he talking to me?
He did say hello, Hodir.
He said hello. He did not say my name.
Hello.
Hello, small child.
I'll forgive your ignorance. Tell me, Mimir, I've probably said hello to Hodir in the wrong way. Is there some sort of formal greeting you have amongst your people?
Generally, when you say hello to someone, you say hello to them instead of just saying hello. Names are a thing.
Oh, Hodir then. Welcome to my establishment.
It's hard for me to know who is talking.
I'm the Emperor. Now
What-
let's see. Hang on. What am I supposed to get people to call me? You can call me Your Eminence, Your Grace, My Lord. Actually, that probably wouldn't be inappropriate. That one, would it? But you can call me things.
Okay, things.
Has no one ever called you friend?
I've generally been kept separate from most people except advisors.
That seems quite unfair for one so young as yourself.
Oh, I was picked out from birth to be the Emperor, so I've never had contact with anyone.
It's quite unfortunate. Must be quite lonely.
Who do you learn your wisdom from then?
Well, before he died, my father used to visit me, and the advisors, they tell me things all the time, like affairs of state, and how to act around guests such as yourself. Am I doing a good job? Am I being chipper and inviting?
How do you know that they are telling you the truth?
Well, they've always told me the truth. I've got this far.
But if they've always lied to you, you would think that that is the truth, yes?
I guess, but why would they lie to me?
Why would they not?
Because I'm the Emperor.
I don't understand what you're talking about. Surely the person to lie to would be the person most worth manipulating. And because you have all the power, as the Emperor, yes, you are the most worthy person to be lied to.
Hmm. Mimir, I see why you have Hodir as an advisor. He is most wise. And he sort of like looks at his two advisors questioningly.
Do you pick your own advisors?
Only one.
You only pick. Then how do you have more than one advisor?
Well, the other two were picked for me before my birth, and they'll be my advisors until I turn 14. On my 14th name day, I can replace all of them. But when I turned 10, I can get a new one. Oh, and I was already 10 when I took the position, so I chose the Zamoran king to try and smooth things with the Zamorans.
So to
And
smooth
you
things.
started killing his daughters.
Yes.
Who advised you to do that?
Oh, I mean, who the advice comes from specifically isn't really important. Here, look, let's enjoy some more food as more food comes out. I shouldn't really speak about affairs of state, especially not with Northerners.
Mimir, I don't understand. Is he actually the Emperor?
We will talk about this later.
Okay.
Once again, the Zamoran king comes forward. He looks very old. His eyes are sunken and dark, and he sort of leans forward again and whispers into the young emperor's ear. Whilst he listens, he sort of, for a moment, his eyes flick over all of you like a little different, like his expression changes, and then he puts his mask back on again.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
So it occurs to me that you might not be here to directly make an exchange for the princess for something, like you're here for another cause. Perhaps the princess doesn't want to stay?
What the princess wants to do, that is not my decision. This is her life.
I have a question.
Yes, Hodor.
Hodir,
Hodir.
you said we weren't going to talk about affairs of state, and now we're talking about affairs of state again.
Well, the ones that directly affect you we can talk about, like where the princess is and what she's doing and what she has been doing. I'm very interested in all those things.
But surely the things we're talking about before directly affect us. If your advisors are lying to you, then we are affected by that, yes? Because you make the decisions.
Well, yes, but using your own logic, you could be lying to me too, because you're not even my own advisors. You're just random advisors from another person. So technically, I can't trust anyone.
But I'm not telling you anything. I'm just... There's
Although
no
you did,
truth or lie in what I say, I just suggest things.
although I do believe you did hit on an important point there, and I think you should really reflect more on that bit, on the fact that you as emperor cannot trust anyone.
I'll have to speak to my advisors about it later.
Oh, but there you go, trusting.
Come. This isn't some. Is this? I've been told about this is banter, right? Between.
But of course it is. Why would it be anything else?
I knew it.
I'm just curious.
A roasted bird appears at the table, and parts are cut off of it, and immediately, as soon as part touches the Emperor's plate, he's like, oh, I love this part, and straight away he starts sinking into it.
I think Mimir would go for a part that is right up against that, because yes.
Yeah, sure. They offer you a part, and you can select and say yes, that cut there, and they'll cut a part from close to the Emperor's. You see the server sort of smile as they do it. Sort of more smiling at your perhaps distrust. They might see through what you're doing, and they pass you a hefty chunk of bird in a way. Hodir, do you specify, or?
I haven't eaten.
Ah. Okay. Tiliang's space seems to be empty. The princess will take a leg. And the advisors each take a leg as well. Three-legged bird.
Aren't there 3 advisors?
The third advisor who walks forward, the Zamoran king, he hasn't joined in the table at all. He sits at the back of the room. On a stool.
Yes. As I stated, it is on the princess as to whether or not she wants to be here or not. She has been with us, which is why she is here now.
This is my home, but I haven't made a decision yet. Oh, well, that's news at least. I thought you were coming home to be home.
And who told you that she was coming home to be home?
Well, we just assumed, really. We thought that once she'd heard about all of the deaths of her family, she'd want to come home and be with her family, so that, you know, in times of trouble, you all band together, all that sort of thing.
Remind me again, what was the proclamation that went out? Because what was said was that you guys had all of the royals. At least that's what you told the public.
Yes, well, that was done so that we can maintain our dignity, I think. So we put out that statement, and now I can see that you've decided. Well, I assume that you were trying to help us in that and bring them back. You know, you haven't told anyone about her existence or anything that we know about. So I thought we were here to deal. I wasn't expecting a duel, though. Should be fun. Never been in a duel before.
I have a question. If you're allowed to answer it.
Of course. I could try.
Who is the next one to be killed?
That will be the sister who'll be dancing for us tonight.
When is she killed?
Tomorrow.
I have more. Is she executed? Like, you take her outside into a square, cut off her head, what?
Oh, that's so barbaric. No, they're not a traitor or anything. No. We just poison their food. We cut their head off afterwards once they're long dead.
Okay.
Is everything okay? You suddenly look so, I don't know, angry.
Is he talking to me?
He's actually looking at Jarl Mimir.
Uh, I'm sure it will not surprise you that I do not approve of such practice.
Oh. But you're desert warriors.
No, I am a Northman.
Oh, yes, but you've been travelling the deserts. From the reports, you could handle yourselves in a fight very well.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I do not approve of poisoning.
Oh, I see. It's not the killing, it's the poisoning.
I don't care for the killing either.
Why not? You kill all the time.
I do not kill without need. I do not kill in order to instill fear or obedience.
For a second, the boy's head turns towards the advisor behind him, but not fully. It's sort of like a... And then he catches himself and looks back again. I'm sure we don't do that either.
It is unfortunate that you are unable to go talk to your people about such matters in your godly state.
I can talk to people if I want to talk to people.
Then why do you not and get what they say? Of course, then again, you being a god, they might be scared of your wrath and not tell you. I can imagine being a god isn't easy.
I was advised that... It doesn't matter what I was advised, and being a god is very easy, actually. I just have to say things and they get done.
I guess consequences never happen, but maybe that's why you age, and eventually someone else has to be god.
But at least I get the benefit of knowing that I'll always be alive.
Is that true of your father?
Well,
Is
yes.
that your
He-
and your grandfather?
Yes, they
And
lived
your
through me.
grandfather before that? Oh, they do.
Hmm. All of their wisdom distilled straight into this little person.
Like the wolf that eats the deer, that eats the grass.
Sure, why not? Wolf? Yeah, I know all of those animals. Animals? Animals. Look, it's time for dancing! And he begins to clap as the oldest sister enters the room.
It's unfortunate what you plan on going forward with. You seem to enjoy her quite much.
Oh, I enjoyed all of them. They were good company. They never touch me or anything.
I'm confused. If people are not able to touch you, how is the god that is to come after you to be born?
I don't know. I guess it just happens. I'm sure the advisors will sort all that out nearer the time.
And what of your mother? Could she not tell you about it?
Oh, I didn't know my mother.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Mothers are wonderful people to have.
Oh no, I don't think my mother was. I don't know what my mother was. No one ever speaks of her. I don't think I had one. I think I was just born.
You mean to imply that your father gave birth to you?
No, I think I just sort of one day I wasn't, and then I was.
Those are some strange bees.
One of our gods was shot out of a goat's anus.
That doesn't sound very godly.
You have not met our gods.
I guess not. Each to their own, I suppose.
Enough of this talk. We're here for a feast. Might as well enjoy the feast for now.
Of course. And, indeed, she does dance. A pleasant dance, no less. She dances sort of, rather than dancing a vibrant, energetic sort of dance, she takes a slower, more morose, pace.
Dance?
Pretty much. My last dance. And she'll dance for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then the Emperor and the two advisors begin to applaud. And as you see her curtsy at the end, you notice a single tear trickle down her cheek as she turns and leaves.
Bastard.
Well, that was entertaining, wasn't it? There'll be the first set of desserts soon. I like dessert.
I can't say that I have much of an appetite left. My apologies.
Oh, that's okay. You are welcome guests. You've returned the princess. Whether she stays today or not, I'm sure she'll stay eventually. If nothing else, after the duel, right?
I do not make her choices for her.
Well, yes, of course. It's very strange this, you not making choices, but having been here and brought her here, it's very confusing, you know. So, are you friends? Have you captured her? And he sort of looks at the princess, and she sort of like looks to you, Mimir. Perhaps remembering the early days.
Initially captured her, but for some time, if she wanted to go her way, she could have.
She is my student.
And mine as well.
Oh, fantastic. Have you been teaching her to fight then? I noticed she's got a weapon.
I taught her to not die.
I'm
Just a couple of different dances, that's all.
going to spend 2 doom to overrule Natalie's secret role.
Okay.
Well. Sorry, private chat. Well, maybe you could teach me a thing or two before our duel. I've never been in a duel before. I imagine it's probably pretty easy though. Most things I do are easy.
Sure, I can teach you.
The princess is taking a sip of wine as you say that, and does a bit of a spit take. She sort of spits into it and giggles into a glass. Excuse me. Excuse me. We probably won't have time though. The advisors do need time to do things. Well, we're having some rooms prepared for you. They're on the west wing.
We will be leaving.
And I insist that you stay as my guests.
Y'all?
I really would prefer to sleep in my tent.
There you go. We will be
I
leaving.
am a man of my word. I challenged you to a duel. I have no reason to not return.
And Princess, would you like to return too, or would you like to stay and spend the night with your sister? Oh my god, does that hurt the princess? She suddenly looks so torn.
Since we are still in negotiations, the princess will come with us.
Christina looks a little upset by this. That's understandable, I suppose. Well then, feel free to drink my wine and stay as long as we all like. I've been quite enjoying your company, really. I don't really get to speak to people outside very often. I think I'm good at socialising. People tell me I'm good at it.
I'm sure most people would not want to anger a god by telling him something he does not want to hear.
I see, now when you say things like that, I'm not sure if you're telling me that I'm bad at it or if you're delicately informing me that people might not be trustworthy again. It's most entertaining.
I have a question again, but I probably have to ask one of your advisors on this one. I doubt you will know.
Well, what's that? I can try me.
There was a priest who came here. Philip.
Yes?
Is he here?
Yes.
Where's he?
We are tending to his wounds. He took quite a nasty arrow to the back. It went all the way through his shoulder and out the other side.
Yes, we shot him.
He was very nearly dead.
He was a man of his word, as we have been men of ours.
Yo, may I go and talk to Philip?
By all means, feel free to at any time.
I was asking the Jarl. You're not my ruler. Jarl.
Y'all, your people are free to wander my estate.
I appreciate that. Yes, of course. Oh dear.
You'll be okay here?
I will be fine.
If you'll excuse me. And I leave.
The guards, who now stand at the door, part to let you pass, oh dear.
I'm gonna go see Philip.
One of the guards leads you away.
Does he lead or does he follow?
I imagine you'll ask where the infirmary is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll lead. He actually puts, as you ask him, he puts a hand on your stick and starts to drag it as a way of leading you.
Don't touch my stick.
Oh, am I supposed to show you? It's a guiding stick, isn't it? Isn't that supposed to be how you guide people?
Out of character, they take the opposite arm.
Oh.
Is the proper.
Thank you for that, IRL. This guard also doesn't know that. Shall I take your arm, or...?
I can hear where you're going.
Alright then. And he starts pacing ahead. But you can tell he's pacing, slowly and loudly. Like he's stamping a little extra for you.
I follow.
Thanks.
And there's no one behind me, right?
You can't hear any other people in the hallway.
Cool.
Well, now that it's just the three of us, except the advisors, I can let you in on a little secret. Two of my advisors don't have tongues anymore. See, I figured it out because I'm a god. I can do what I like, and I shouldn't have to have necessary advisors. So the Zamoran king, he instructed me to cut their tongues out. So I did. See, I'm on your side, really, princess.
And you felt the need to have an act in front of my advisor for...
Tales came from the camp about his fighting prowess. I'm sure you're very fighty too, but him especially, without a weapon, took on 3 people. That's quite impressive.
Then how have these other 2 been whispering in your ear all night? With no tongues. That is quite a feat.
I get them to act for me. And you can see as you turn, go on, show them. And they turn, and instead of speaking, they just make a hissing sound. Almost like a snake. I keep them alive so no one suspects. I think I'll do that as a nicety until I'm strong enough to take on ruling properly. Because you're quite right, I can't trust anyone.
That is quite a good act you have put on.
Thank you. So
Well then, since it is the 5 of us, since the other 2 cannot speak. Oh, and of course your guards at the door.
they've probably surrounded the room by now. I do insist that you be my guest tonight.
You cannot blame me for wanting to sleep in my tent.
No,
Just
not
a
at all.
second.
Not at all. But also, a foreign ruler in my kingdom. I have to take precautions. Isn't that right, Gwenra? We're gonna make Zamora great again. I didn't even realise I'd paralleled that until I did it.
I will say the only problem with expanding quickly is it is awfully hard to control territories that get as big as your empire is getting.
Well, yes, that's true. But fortunately, lots of people in the Empire don't know anything's happened yet. So, with Gwenra's help, we're going to regain the trust of the Zamoran people. And then...
And what is the plan for that? Because I got to say, killing their prince and princesses is a pretty horrible way to regain their trust.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, but it also gets them really riled up, and I'm sure once they've killed a whole bunch of Aquilonians and the nobles, and whoever I name as the advisors that told me to do that, they'll be quite happy.
Okay. Yes.
It's so nice of you to bring the princess back, by the way. And at this point, the serving lady brings in the dessert. It's a sort of almost a pancake with some bean curd on it. Oh, this is my favourite, and starts picking it up and.
So then are you done killing princesses and royals at this point? It is my understanding that women don't hold a lot of sway in this country as is.
Yeah, that's the real problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I shall have to take one as my wife.
That is what most people would do, yes.
I'm glad you agree. Mimir, you've got much less talkative since your friends left. Is everything okay? I hope my big reveal didn't spook you too much.
Well, I'm not one to sit there and try and placate someone. But I am also one to try not to get killed simply for saying words in the first place. There's a way to say things without getting killed, usually.
I wouldn't know really, I just say them.
Well, I'm sure that's a privilege of your position.
I guess it is.
Just so you know, like, Huda's not going to be gone that long. So,
They take you on quite the walk.
okay.
You might
Turned it to get Huda out the way. Okay. So, I would ask how far we have to walk.
Oh, it's just down here. We're just coming into the main building now. You were enjoying the pavilion, which is where the dinner guests are invited to come and eat. We are going to go down the steps into the infirmary now, which is in the main palace.
Okay. Then we are here.
Yes, down we go.
So you could have just said that.
Or I suppose I could, but I thought you might want a description. All right.
I just asked when we would get there. And then you could have said we are here.
Okay, well, all right then. Well, we are here. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on. So there's
It's alright.
2 steps first, then we turn right, and then there's about 20 or 30 steps.
Okay.
You hear him start chunking away ahead of you.
What am I going down? Could I make something?
Sure, what do you want to check for?
Sound of bars, clanging, metal, etc. Any indication that we are not going down into the infirmary?
Make me a check. Let's go for perception. That's definitely a hearing check, I think. Or I'd accept insight if you want to go insight instead.
Yeah, I was gonna say insight.
On that critical success, you cannot hear any sounds of iron bars or anything. You can hear the sound of groaning, which would be indicative of a healing place.
Or a dungeon.
Or a dungeon, yes.
I'll go. I didn't stop my step. I just
Listen.
after the last time with that asshole Captain God dude. He didn't even give me meat first.
How rude. How
Right.
rude. Anyway, he's like, right, it's just in here. You see now the bed's about 4 foot high. It's on your right, and he's just laying there, and you can hear Philip. Sort of,
Can he not speak?
Oh, he's just a bit injured, but he should be all right.
That doesn't answer if he can speak.
He should be able to speak. I mean, just took an arrow. That's all.
Okay. Are you coming with me?
I can come in with you if you like.
I just assumed you were told to keep an eye on me, so I did not do anything.
Oh no, you've been given free reign of the compound. I'm just supposed to escort you. I heard it myself.
Okay. I'll walk over. Hello, Philip.
Oh dear.
Yes, that is my name.
And we'll pan across to Tiliang. Tiliang, you have been dragged as you snuck out of the room and tried to find a good observation point to use your bow. I used my 2 doom points to have someone grab Tiliang from behind. And they will be wrestling you away.
All right then.
You also feel a piercing in your arm. It would seem not a dagger, smaller than that. And suddenly you feel really drowsy.
Of course I do. Yeah. Sounds about right. Stupid Doom. Can I try to kick up a fuss and make some noise, like kick my feet, try to knock something over?
Sure. Make me resistance check. It seems like resistance in all senses of the word.
Fair enough. Where is that?
It should be in brawn.
Ah, that's fine.
Okay, with 1 resistance, Mimir and the princess will hear the sound of a table turning over from one of the nearby corridors. I probably wouldn't worry about that. It's probably just rats or something.
Those would be some huge rats to knock over a table.
Oh, you should see
The
the.
rat's problem that's bad here.
Oh, you should see some of the locals. That's a joke. That's a joke. I'm comparing people to rats. Do you get it?
I got it.
All right. They did warn me about northern sense of humour.
I don't think it's so much a sense of humor there. I think you need a better teacher for your jokes. At least with that flavor.
Oh. Well, anyway, I think that's about enough of everything, don't you? I'm really sorry that I won't be able to attend the duel, but you know.
I kind of figured.
And he'll stand up and go and walk over towards Gwenra as archers enter the room, all of them training their arrows on you and the princess. Tiliang despite you kicking up a fuss, the darkness does take you. And Hodir, in this infirmary, you hear, Hodir, it's a trap! And you hear the door close. And the key turn. And that's what we're going to wrap up for this week, part 1 of the finale. Yay!
Happy fun time.
How are we all feeling?
I am mad at my own cards right now.
Teehee.
Oh yeah. Well, the funny thing is you had no clue. That's the killer here.
Teehee. Well, everyone, I really hope you enjoyed that. I'm kind of living for how angry Fook is in chat right now. It's giving me a lot of life. Before we go, everyone, we're going to be heading over to the Discord to chat about it. Fook, you can rage at me in there.
I quite enjoyed it.
In the meantime, please check out our links, all of our ways you can sponsor us, all of the places you can find out information about our sponsors, and where you can get 10%, 15% discount using the special code which is beneath the screen there. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Until next time, keep on evoking emotions. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.